Hello there, this is Dave Allen for Good and Geeky, and today we're looking at one of my favourite applications, Affinity Designer. Specifically, I want to look at how to place text on a circle, which is one of the good things you can do with Affinity Design. You can put it on a circle, you can put it on a square, you can put it onto a wavy line, you can put it onto whatever shape you like, but in this case we're looking at putting it onto a circle. And I'm going to show you 3 different ways of doing this. So let's just get rid of all that we've got here and start afresh. Now, so we can see it a little bit better, what I'm going to do first of all is to put a rectangle at the back of this to give us a background. Okay, so we've got that in there. Okay, so I'll go to the layers panel, and what I'm going to do there is I'm going to click on lock. So the first thing I want to do is we're going to work on the design, and it's going to be in a donut sort of shape. If I hold down the command key and the shift key, I can make it so it expands out from the center like this. Select that. It's got no filler or anything at the moment. Let's just go to colour to show you that what I've got there. We've got colour and the stroke of it. Let's put a stroke onto it as well. There we go. So we've got a stroke on it as well, black outline around the outside of it. And then from there what we can do is we can change the hole radius, so we can have bigger or smaller. Let's go for around about that size there. And we can do other things with the donut as well. As you probably know already, you can change this here and have it more or less any shape that you like. Let's close the pie. You don't really want to put your text onto this thing here, because what happens is when you do this is, let's go to the text thing here. We come over here and we want to put some text into this here. So you get the wavy line there where the text is going to go. As soon as you start putting the text in there, you lose the colour and you lose the outlines, because it's now just a guide for the text. It's not actually a shape that's going to appear in the final design. So let's just Command Z out of that and go back to this here. Now what we really want to do is you want to have another circle which we're going to use as our guide for our text. So let's get a circle this time and go to the center of this object here, the center of the donut. I'm going to hold down the Command and Shift key again, and I'm just going to drag this out. And I didn't go far enough with it, so I'm just going to hold down the Command and Shift key again, keep bringing it out further until I got it about where I want the text to be. So I want the text to sort of be around about like that. Let's get rid of the colour out of that there for a moment. Okay, so we just got the line there for it at the moment. And what I want is I want the text to sort of go in this sort of space here around the outside. Okay, so let's put some text in there. So let's get our artistic text tool while we have the circle selected. At the moment the donut selected. We don't want the donut selected, we want the circle selected. So get that and get the text tool. And move your text tool so it goes above the circle and you've got the T with the wavy line there. And it doesn't really matter where you click on this here, because we're going to do some adjustments to where the text is going to be exactly afterwards. I would suggest that's probably a good idea to set your size of text first. So let's put it at 90, and maybe we'll choose one of the things I'm going to use. Let's use Arial Black, and I'm going to stick that in there. It is really easy. Now you see what's happened here is, because we've got the text size of 90, it's actually sort of split the text into 2 bits, because it's gone further than these things here allow. Now we can change this here. This is one way of going about doing it. Say we want to have text in a circle as our top part of the thing there. So let's grab that there and change that until we get round to about there. And then we get this one here and bring this one around here. So we want it to be the text at the top of the donut. And I'll bring that round to here. Now you have to kind of mess about with this here, because it's not going to work quite the way we want it. Now what we do is we've got to go over this here and bring this round so that it's at the bottom. But the thing is that it's put the text in a circle is really easy at the top there, and it's not centered or anything. So that's something else we need to do. We need to click on center align. Then we're going to have to go around to bring this here and bring this over here, the red triangle. So we've got text in a circle. So that's about the right size there now. So we've got text in a circle at the top there, and I can select that there and we can set where that's going to be. So let's get this one here and bring it round. Now put it in position by eye. If you wasn't really happy with getting it by eye, then what you can do is you bring down one of these guides. So let's put a guide around about here, and we'll get another guide and put a guide in around about here. You see they're a bit off at the moment, so what we're going to do is we're going to get this green one here, Going to move that around to about there and move this one here so it lines up with the guide here. I'm going to do the same sort of thing down the bottom here. Let's bring this down here, and that guide there is about close enough. Okay, so we've got the text in place more or less, except it doesn't look quite right because the is really is above the line and we want it below the line, so that the top of the text is going to be around this guideline for our text. So what we need to do is we need to select this here, and this is the text that we're going to work with, and we're going to change it with the baseline. So let's get the baseline here and move it out. And you can usually do it enough with this here, but sometimes what you need to do is you need to go to this one here separate over the baseline here, and you can also change it by a certain number of points here. And it's just another way of doing it, but I suggest you're probably best starting with what you've got on the toolbar at the top here, and then use this one over in this positioning and transform afterwards if you need to. And at the top there, what I want to do is I want to make sure that's all in uppercase. I did put that text in uppercase and lowercase on purpose, just so I can show you this. If I go to this here, all caps, how much better is that then? The only thing is that once we've done that, it's actually sort of moved the circle down into this bit at the bottom here. So I'll just mess that up as well. Let's select is really easy again, and we'll change that to be uppercase as well. So now we're all in uppercase. Now we've got to do some rearranging with this bit at the top here to get this word circle back into the top part of the text. So let's bring that down a wee bit, and then bring this one down a wee bit as well, just so that it's going to be sort of level and everything is lined up nicely. Everything's looking good now, so that's pretty great. Now, it is a good idea to make sure that you've got the text size in right as well, because if you start messing about with the text size, then you're going to have to start rearranging those little anchors as well, for the green one and red one for the start and stop the text. But if you don't want to do it that way, what you can do is you can grab the donut, which we're working on here, and I'm going to hold down the command and the shift key, and I'm just going to bring that down in size here, so it's a bit closer to the text in a circle. I'm going to go up to the whole radius and make the whole radius so that there is just about the way I want. So that is one way of putting text into a circle, and it's not that difficult. It's a bit fiddly by doing it all with one text and one sort of line, as it were, and one sort of circle. But at least you've got everything set up so that when we go to deselect that, let's select our text. We're on a circle there. Now what I can do is I can go to something like the styles, and I can choose a style from here. Like say I want gold rust or style number 30. I can put that in there, and I can go to FX, and I can change the outline to something a bit smaller. And the whole of that text is being worked on all in one go, just by me going through to the effects there. Now, if I just get this on one of these corners, like this corner here, and I'm going to do Command and Shift, so it comes in from the center. If I bring this in here, gosh, that messes it up good and proper, doesn't it? Let's do Command Z on that, put it back out again. But what about if I go to this one here on this bottom right hand corner? You see it's standing out from this one here, and it shows us that I'm going to be working on all of the items within this selection. And as you can see, I've kept my design inside that there. Let's do that there to zoom in on it, and it's only messed up on this outline around the outside of this text here, and that's because on the outline here. So now I'm looking at layer effects, and if I'd done scale with object on that there, then it would have kept properly within our changes there. So let's bring that down to here. So let's go to the 3D there. That's already done with scale with object, so I can close that now. So now if I change the size of this one here, so let's do a select all, and I'm going to bring this down in size. And now it's staying all correct as it should do. The only thing that's probably not changing quite right there is the shadow around here, but that's something we can change as necessary. So let's start from the center of the page there, and I'm going to come out from that there. We haven't got any color within it. We've got the outside edges there. We've got a contour around it. We've got a stroke, and now we want to do a circle. So let's get our circle tool, go to the center of this here again. I'm going to do Command and Shift, so I'm coming outwards from the center, and I want it to go about there. So let's just do our first bit of text. In fact, let's not do our first bit of text. What we want to do actually is we want to do a Command J to do a duplicate. So let's do Command J. So we've got a duplicate and we've got two things, one on top of the other. So now I'm going to go to the text tool. I've got one of them selected, and I'm going to put the text on a path. That's going to be the text that's going to go at the top. Now that's not going to work right, is it? It's on the inside of our circle. We want it to be on the outside of our circle. So what we need to do is we need to go to our toolbar up here and change that. So that's put it on the outside there. Then what we want to do is we want to get this green one over here, bring it round. And as you can see, it clicks into place there at that halfway point of our circle. Then we want to do the same thing over here with this here, bring this around and put it in the middle there. So now we've got the text on a circle and it's perfectly aligned with the top of the circle. Next thing we need to do is we need to change the size of the text. So we've got the font OK. So let's go to this one here. We can change that by going to this one here, and first of all we need to select the text, otherwise nothing's going to change. I've just triple clicked on that to select all the text. Okay, so let's just change the size of the font here. So at the moment it's set for it was at 96 or something like that. Let's put it at 144, and it's gone too big. But you don't have to hit 144. We can change that there by putting a number in there. So we've got 140. Let's put it in 120. So the size is about correct now, but it's gone and split it up. So what we need to do is now we bring this guideline down. I want to put the guideline around about there, I'm guessing. And this is the one I want. Bring this, and I'm going to bring it down to that line down about here. And I'm going to get this one here. Bring that line to about there. Now we're talking. That's just perfect. That's just the way I want it. Okay, so that's the top part of the circle done there. And like I said, you can change the size if you want to with this by going on this little node, or corner node on the edge here. And if I hold down the Command and Shift, actually that's something you have to be aware about as well. If I do Command and if I hold down the Shift key on this one here, it's possible to do that, look. Okay, I don't want that to happen. So if I let go of the Shift key and just have the Command key set, it makes it so that the circle changes and the text on the circle changes in relation to the size of the circle. Now then, what I've done is I've messed this up here, this other circle we've got. I need to make that the same size as the one I've just changed the size of. I've got the Command and Shift down, and I'm going to bring that out until it is in place there. Look, so that's now just spot on. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to put some more text, and I want to go onto this other ellipse. So I want to select this ellipse. I want to go over to the text tool, and I come down here, put it next to the ellipse I've got selected. So I'm going to go to the text tool. I'm going to triple click on this text, and then I'm going to change the size of it. And I think we had it at 130, didn't we? So let's put it at 130 as well. 130. Okay, so it's in the wrong place. What am I going to do? Well, one thing you could do with this here is you go to this one here for turning all of the text around, and you can just grab it and move it around. Not really what I want to do, because it kind of messes things up as well. So let's just do Command Z on that there. It's far better to get these handles here and move these so that they're in the right place. So I'm going to put that in there. I want to get the red one, and I'm going to put it in over there. But it's still wrong. It's on the wrong side of again. So what we're going to do, we're going to go up to this top over here, click on that there. And as happened before, we've got it so that it's on the wrong side of the circle. It's on the inside of the circle rather than on the outside of the circle. So what we're going to do is going to go to the baseline at the top here, and I'm going to just change that so that it moves out. I'm just doing this by eye, and I'm sure you could do it by eye where it just fits in just nicely there. So that is another way of doing it. You've got everything in place there. So let's just grab a circle, and I'm going to do Command Shift, move outwards. Let's put a colour in there, put a black colour in there. So I'm going to do a Command J first of all to make a duplicate. Then I'm going to move it across. Hold down the Shift key as I move it across so it stays in line. Put it in about the right position there. Then I want to do that one there. And I'm going to do Command G so that it's makes it a grouped item. And then what I can do is this, grab this here, any of the other items that we've got there, go up to the align tool at the top there, and I want to align it so that it's aligned this way, and align it to the last selected. And as you can see now, I've got it just as I want it. So let's click apply. So I know that these two dots are perfectly aligned up, centered to this here. So that was another way to do text on a circle or text on a donut, where you've got some of the text at the top and some at the bottom. I did it that way by making two circles. Okay, so I've got all those selected there now. What I can do as well is do a Command G to make it into a group. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take that outside one there, hold down the Shift key so that it stays all the same size. I'm just going to put that up there out of the way. So let's do it again in a different way. So I'm going to do the donut again. So I've got my center look, Command and Shift, work out from the center, do my donut to about that size there. Let's just swap these colours over so that we've got colour on the stroke and no colour on the fill of it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my circle again and go to the centre of this, do Command Shift, come outwards until it's where the text should be. So that's about there, same as I did on this other one here really. Okay, so again I should have set up the size of the text first of all, maybe. Didn't, but so it doesn't really matter, so I'm going to do a triple click on that there. Let's put this to 130, same as I had on the previous one. Now we've got it on two different bits there, as we did with before in the first one there. It can be a bit fiddly to work this out. Let's get this one and bring it down a bit further. Give ourselves a bit more room to work with. Let's get this one here and bring it round. And the one I want to move, I think, is this one there. Let's bring this one down to here. It can be a bit annoying, this. You know, when it gets like this, the easiest way to sort this out is to go up to the size of the font, bring the size of the font down again to something a bit more manageable. So we've got text on a circle there in the right place now, and let's just click that there to put it on the top rather than on the bottom. Then what I can do is I can go to these ones here. I know that I've got them in the right places. Okay, so let's bring this one on and put it up here. And as you can, just to show you, I'm going to leave this in the video. I'm going to show you that it is a bit messy, that sometimes that you need to do a bit of fiddling with. Get the text to a different size there that you can work with it and get these bits in the right place. Then go back there afterwards and change that back to 130. So now I've got the text exactly where I want it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the styles. Now with the styles, what you can do is you can just go to your selection tool there, or your move tool, and we'll go to styles, and you can put a style like in there. So let's go for one of these gold ones. No, that's horrible. Let's go for this one here. So that's one possibility. We'll go for metal sharp. Put in whatever styles you want there, or go to your effects on here and change the effects as you wish to have them. Okay, so we're not having to turn the inner shadow off there. It's actually better with the inner shadow. Let's put it back on again. We've got inner glow on there as well, and change the radius on that there so it's changed in there. Basically what you do is you get your text set up so it's just the way that you want it, alright? And it can mean that you might have to change the size of the circle there. So I've got the now if I do this one on the outside here, everything changes size. Okay, the text changes and the circle that's controlling it changes size as well. If I do the one on the inside there, hold down the Command key. Okay, as you can see there, I've got to hold the Shift key as well. Okay, so we've got our text the way they want it. Now, what about this text that's underneath that we want to put in there with the so easy bit? So let's just get this here, and the best way to do this is do Command J. Okay, so now I've got the text exactly as I want it, size-wise and everything. Now I'm going to get this one here and bring this around. Hold down the Shift key so that it comes down to the bottom 180 degrees. There you go, 180 degrees. That keeps it within those 15-degree increments. Now what I want to do is triple click on this here, and I'm going to change the text in there. So now I'm going to put in the so easy. Okay, all well and good so far, except it's the wrong way round. So that's going to be changed by doing that. And then I'm going to just change the baseline, click on that there, and move the baseline out. And so I've got the text exactly the same as it is at the top there. Don't need to make any changes to it. I know it's exactly the same because I've just made a copy of it there, and everything's just worked out fine. The only thing that you might notice on this one here is the fact that the shading that's on this text here is a little bit different on to the shading on the bottom text. So that's how to do that, and then when you've got that done, you can start working on your donut here to make it into something that looks a bit nicer. So let's go to the styles, and we'll put this metal sharp onto that one there, or we could do this gold rust one here. And I want to make that circle a bit smaller so it fits the text a bit better. So I'm going to do Command and Shift and bring it in. And then I'm just going to change the size of the hole radius a little bit there to make it fit a bit better. So there we have a nice little logo made very easily on a donut shape. And we did it with using text on a circle, and I showed you 3 different ways of doing it. This is Dave Allen for Good and Geeky. I hope you learned something with that there, and we'll talk some more about Affinity Photo and Affinity Designer in some more of these tutorials. Bye bye now, talk to you again soon.